Okay guys, today we're going to be doing a video on how to calculate the top speed of each gear. This is very similar to the Engineering Explained video that he posted up a few years ago. And what inspired me to do this was the M Roadster. Even though I got it supercharged and it's quicker, the top speed of each gear is going to be the same since I did not change any of the gear ratios. And it's still pretty bad. I think it's going to be really good for autocross or drifting, but as far as street racing, it's not going to be very good. The information that you need to have is the gear ratios in our transmission. So if you have a 5-speed transmission, there's going to be 5 different gear ratios. You need to know the differential gear ratio. You need to know your tire diameter because that affects it. In a sense, that kind of does its own gear ratio in the grand scheme of things. And then you need to know what you shift at. On the M Roadster, I shift at 6,500. But let's dive into it. So right here is the ratio for each gear in the transmission. Like I said, it's a 5-speed, so we have 5 different gear ratios. The first gear ratio is a 4.21 to 1. Second is a 2.49 to 1. Third is a 1.66 to 1. Fourth is a 1.24 to 1. Fifth is going to be a 1 to 1. And the differential ratio is going to be a 3.23 to 1. Right here, like I had mentioned before, I redline at 6,500 RPM. Well, I don't redline at that. I think it's 6,800, but that's what I shift at typically. The tire diameter, you can either calculate this on Google, just type in your tire specs and it'll spit out that information, or you could just pull a tape measure on it. But the diameter of my tire is 24.7 inches. You need to calculate the circumference. And so to do that, you just take your diameter times pi, which is 3.14, and that will give me, for this case, 77.55 inches as the circumference. With all that information we have, we can go into the equation. So the equation is going to be your red line. For this case, it's going to be 6,500 times 60, and that 60 is just a unit conversion to go from minutes to hours. We divide that by the gear ratio, which for like first gear case would be 4.21 times our differential gear, which is going to be a 3.23. And then you times that quantity by our circumference, which for this case would be 77.55. And you divide this whole quantity by 12, and then you divide it by 5280. And this is going to be a unit conversion. So we're going from inches to feet, feet to miles. So with all that, your unit should be miles per hour for top speed. Okay guys, so after you do the calculation, right here is going to be the results for the BMW. Our top speed for first gear is going to be 35, second is going to be 59, third is going to be 89, fourth is going to be 119, and then fifth is going to be 147 miles an hour. So, but keep this in mind, that is, this 147 is not what the car is actually going to do. That's dependent on your power plant, like your engine, all that kind of stuff. But this is going to be what your gearing will let you do. Everything does seem accurate for the first initial gearing or gears. When I'm driving around, it does seem pretty good. But going from fourth to fifth, calculation is 119. But when I'm driving, I want to say it's closer to 100. But I'm gonna have to pay more attention to see if it is really 119 or something closer to it. But that concludes this video. I'll probably do another video of doing the calculations for the Shelby, just to compare and contrast this car versus a car that's more designed for like the strip or street racing. But at least with the BMW, I think this is going to be more tailored for autocross or drifting, which is the main intention I wanted the car for, but it's always fun to go out and go in a straight line. But if you liked this video and thought it was interesting, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and that is it. You guys have a good one.